bully. No. But yeah, SuperCyan is a new addition. I think this is his first week playing as well, a new addition to our team. He found out about the CPL during I think it was one of Chessy Zookeeper casts, and he wanted to get involved. So
Yeah, that's
his first
super
week.
awesome. I mean, we're more than happy to have more people join the league, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the stronger the CPL players get, it's just better for the community overall. So
Yep. Yeah, I played a couple of games with him PvZ, and he seems pretty decent. So we'll have to see how these games go. That was PvZ. I don't know how his ZVT is or his TT yet. So we'll see how this goes. But let's introduce our players here. In the bottom left, from CWA, Chobos with Attitude, we have Yogzototh, the Purple Terran. And then in the top right, we have our yellow Zerg, SuperCyan, from Team Supply Block.
and we also have some lag.
Yeah, I remember they were talking, having trouble getting their matches. Like, at first they couldn't coordinate a good time, and then there was some lag during these games. I think actually Yogg disconnected at some point, and they ended up either replaying or almost giving walkover because Yogg wasn't sure he was going to come back or make it back. But they did, and I know they did end up playing the series out. So there's that. So I have to see, maybe the lag played a factor in these games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the second I hear lag, I start thinking, okay, well, Muta Micro doesn't sound as nearly as good anymore. So.
For sure. We'll have to see how these games go, though. Looks like pretty standard. SuperCyan going for the hatchery here on
Very
12.
Nice. And it matches the markers. Fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you're still learning new stuff there, Shoot.
Yes, for sure.
CPL here, so.
And it looks like Yogg has a very forward barracks.
Wow.
Yeah, and this wasn't an 8 racks or anything. If it was an 8 racks, I can understand it being forward. He wants to have the Marines closer to bunker rush or something like that. But in this case, I don't like it. Because if the opening from the opponent was like 9 pull speed, I mean, he doesn't want his Marines spawning out here.
I think he's probably planning to make a bit of a wall with this and take a Gorax. See, he's doing this blind though. He hasn't scouted the Zerg.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So if the Zerg, like you said, open 9 pool speed, he hasn't scouted, he would just be dead. It works out for him in this case because the Zerg did open with a 12 hatch, so he's not going to be putting on any early pressure. But because the Terran wasn't aware, it put him at risk. An unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zerg's just gonna scout.
What?
He attacked his own for a second.
Yeah, I got that. Okay, so
Zerg's just scouting.
So Cyan shouldn't. I don't think Cyan should be giving up this drone like this. I don't know.
Yeah, if you don't really want to lose that. I mean, he's checking out everything. It looks like he is gonna lose it. That's.
Yogg showed mercy.
Oh, is it gonna get out? There's another Marine out there.
Never mind. Yeah,
he's gonna die. Yeah.
Well,
So, that's unfortunate. I mean, ideally you won't lose that drone. He does scout and see everything that's going on. He sees the CCs coming up, just about done. He saw that he was adding a second barracks.
yeah, and he's able to confirm no gas. So I guess that's kind of important.
Yeah, I think maybe he was scouting to see if there was a gas build, like a 111 or some kind of a mech opening.
Yeah.
But seeing the second racks, no gas, you can assume like, okay, Terran's probably gonna go for an early medic push.
I've also never seen barracks being placed at the front like this. They seem really exposed.
Actually, yeah. Python and I were casting some ZVTs with, I believe I'm pretty sure it was Yogg actually, the other day too.
He did the exact same thing?
Yeah, he did this as well.
Very nice.
He made the 2 barracks in a bunker. He put like a bunker in between to kind of make a wall. He did it on crossing fields as well and on Fighting Spirit.
Got it. So this is some Yogg flavor
yeah.
TVZ Wallen. Okay, got it.
Bit questionable, but we can see he hasn't put down the bunker in this game. That's one thing.
That was weird. I'm not sure if you noticed that, Snipe, but sometimes the barracks looks like it wiggles, like as Marines are being produced.
Oh, I didn't notice it. Could just be like a graphical glitch or depending on the zoom.
Yeah, might just be my computer's not good enough. Oops. I might have just outed myself.
Computer refresh rate isn't good enough.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Monitor
forget I
refresh
said
rate.
anything.
Yeah. Okay, so the academy's done. We don't see any medics started yet. I would have liked to see a couple medics coming out, and we see a factory going down. So it looks like he's gonna go for Marine medic tank push. I think you get like a group or two of M&M and a couple of tanks, and you'll pressure the Zerg with that.
Very nice.
And from our Zerg player, it is going to be a 3-hatch Spire play. I mean, maybe he's comfortable with mutas, but if he was complaining about lag, that could be a little bit difficult, like micro them. We'll have to see how the micro is or how he handles it with them. Oh, it's like Jody's in the chat. Hey, Jody. I don't know if you saw your games or not. We just did them before these. So, Yogg's actually SuperCyan actually has a good number of minerals and gas. Like, he's going to be able to actually afford his mutalisks on time.
Yeah.
9 mutalisks. When Python and I did the cast the other day, the Zergs were having problems getting enough mutalisks done on time. Like, they would get 4 or 5 out, where we can see SuperCyan here. He's getting all 9 of his right out on time. So, very nice build.
I want to point out those names. He is getting them out at the same time, but I don't think he's getting them out as fast as possible. I'm not too sure, but your muta should be popping before like 6:30, you know?
I thought it was right around 6:30. I mean, I don't know the matchup that well, but
yeah, because if that's the timing, then these mutas are still like 20 seconds later. So, but overall pretty good. The only thing is, there's a control group of Marines moving out and 0 defense at the Zergnat.
The Zerg isn't even aware of this.
Yeah, so he's about to be very surprised. This could do so much damage to him if he's not.
Be game-ending damage, really.
Okay, so maybe the muta saw a medic.
Although I don't see.
He saw. Yeah.
Okay, there's 2 turrets in Terran's main, but they're both behind the minerals. This goes back to what you said in a previous week, where the turrets are like against the map. They're not really covering a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that placement.
Not that well placed. I mean, a little bit better at the natural, but he's got like these 5 turrets all behind the minerals.
Yo, Snipe, this game is going crazy. Both the players are countering each other. Oh my god.
Yeah, so Zerg is attacking the Terran's natural, while Terran's killing Zerg natural here. He's gonna get the Hydralisk den down.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I think our 18 killer, he's done it again. You know? I think he's got. I don't want to call it too early, but Zerg has literally no defense.
Yeah, I mean, this group of M&M is going to be able to wipe out the Zerg base well before, these Mutalisks kill the Terran. And Terran may even be able to just defend these Mutalisks. I think he probably will.
Yeah, this position definitely favors the Terran for sure.
I mean, the Zerg did get up a few Sunkens here.
Oh my gosh.
But this is just way too much damage to the Zerg. Although it looks like he killed a fair number of SCVs, and he does have some Lings attacking here at the Nat. So that's kind of nice. Though he's just targeting the barracks.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, these are the only 2 barracks he has. So if those die, that's gonna be some trouble. But there's a science pistol.
It's not gonna have a radiate yet. Interesting.
The facility is broken. Oh my god, this game. What? There's a hidden third? Oh, it just finished.
And the Terran's sending all his units back now to come try and deal with this, but I mean, he's killed all the Mutalisks off now, so I would have liked to see him make pressure or look for that third.
Yeah, and importantly,
okay, he's going back
the
now.
Spire died for Scion as well, so he can't really. He's not going to be able to reinforce with Muta or anything like that. He's working with pure Ling. There's no Hydroden, there's no lurker upgrades. He is in a really tough spot, especially if tanks are coming anytime soon.
But he does have that second base, so maybe he can stay in this and do something. He's throwing down a hatchery and a queen's nest actually at that second base.
I don't know about putting a queen's nest there.
Hive up. Yeah, I would like
Oh,
to
the
see
base just
like
got
a Hydra
scanned, I
den.
think.
Okay, we'll see if Terran moves down there.
Okay, so
If
that's
Terran
the
finds that base and kills it, it's gonna be. But it looks like he is aware of it.
that's rough, especially since he put the queen's nest in an exposed position. I mean, why not put the queen's nest here when there's a bunch of Sunkens defending it already?
Yeah, I would have liked to see the Hydralisk den too a little earlier. He's getting it now, but you got to get those lurkers out.
Oh, and then there's vultures here at the second base as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna clean up every single drone here.
Placing a couple mines here. And that's just gonna trigger the GG.
Wow, really, really interesting because Cyan played it well. I think what ended up costing him the game was he had zero idea that Terran had moved out.
Yeah.
So that control group did way too much damage.
Yeah, I liked what he was doing. His build seemed like pretty good, but he had to he needed a Zergling or something out front of the Terran's base.
Yeah.
Just to see when the Terran moved out with that, so he could add those reactionary creep colonies, Sunkens, and be ready for that.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
if he had 3 Sunkens out in front of his base when that hit, his mutas would have done so much damage in the Terran's base, and would have. Sounds like someone joined us here. Would have done so much damage to the Terran's base, and would have, also protected his own base, and he would have been in a lot better position. Like I would have favored his position if he just had those 3 Sunkens and defended that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's true. Like how big of a difference 3 Sunkens makes, right? Like in that position, if there had been the 3 Sunkens, yeah, exactly, it probably would have been Zerg's game easily. But I guess that's something that you have to really work on and pay attention to is if you are going to cut defenses, you need to make sure the exact time that you have to morph your defenses, right? So if the Marines move out, you have to be ready to throw down Sunkens ASAP. Because if not, you're in for some trouble, definitely.
And I mean, then you're just gonna lose your natural and lose the game, which you just saw. So
yeah. But overall, I'm excited because I think Cyan is definitely a good Zerg player, especially for the B team level. So I want to see what he does in the second game. I definitely think the matchup, the skill difference between these 2 players isn't too huge. Like I think either one of them can win.
yeah, it's just a little mistake last game that cost the Zerg, I think. All right, we'll see if we have a good game here. If Zai can bring it back. So over here on the left side of the map, we have the Teal Zerg from Team Supply Block down a game, SuperCyan. And it looks like the lag may be better. Over here on the right, as the Orange Terran, we have Yogzototh up a game. So they had a little bit of chat saying it seems fine now, so maybe after all the issues they were having, they're actually going to have a lag-free game or a pretty decent game.
Yeah, and I guess we have to.
That makes any difference.
Yeah, we have to bring up that point too. I guess. I mean, because we say that Cyan didn't really have any defenses last game, so maybe the lag kind of contributed to him either forgetting or just not paying attention, something like that. So that might be a contributing factor.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll be in for a good game. Although, if you look at the APMs, okay, Yogs is going up a little bit now. He was sitting at like 20, 30 APM, where Cyan's spamming up to 300 here. So maybe he's just like Hot Dog, we gotta power up, start slow.
Yeah.
Get past.
I mean, Hot Dog is just an anomaly, man. Starts off super low APM and then, bam, 3,000 APM.
Maybe not quite that high, but yeah, for sure. We'll have to opt to see if the players opt to go for the same builds or not.
Yeah, it looks very normal. Depot first for the Terran, and it looks like we're just gonna get a 12 hatch from Zerg.
So yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. We do see this forward barracks again, so I imagine we'll see another fast CC out of Yogg.
Yeah, definitely. I'm telling you though, man, I think this forward barracks is super punishable.
Yeah, if he went for some speed links or early leg attack, sure. But I can understand wanting to make it as part of your wall too. I'm sure it's viable, but you don't need to know how to defend as well.
Well, because I mean, okay, so in my opinion, at no point in the game does Terran want their barracks here, right? Because what happens when lurkers come out? You wouldn't want your Marines spawning right here, right? Because I mean, lurkers could totally just snipe the spawning point.
Yeah, but I mean, early on it helps with creating a wall too. Kind of stop from a bunch of lings from just running into your base.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Like a bunker.
Yeah.
Again, we're not too familiar with this matchup, so.
Yeah, definitely. I could be completely wrong, and this barracks is you know, the correct meta. But it's just, to me personally, it seems very risky.
I mean, if you scout the Zerg and see it's a 12 hatch, you're fine, right? But you don't normally scout it until after you started the barracks, so I'm not sure. We do see Terran throwing down his CC, so very similar. Imagine we'll see another 2 racks build out of him here. And we'll have to opt to see if the Zerg goes for mutas again or if he decides to go straight for lurkers.
Yeah, I mean, if Cyan was willing to go muta in a laggy situation, I'm sure he'd do it again. Now, especially now that the lag's gone.
And this map offers some decent areas for muta harasses. Like you can have the muta over this area where his overlord is, kind of, and pick off that gas. And not a lot Terran can do. I mean, a few turrets and lifted building, and he would be able to kind of hold off the muta. But it just gives it a little bit more protection for the muta harass. I'd like to see mutas on this map. Yeah, so we do see 2 barracks again coming out of the Terran. And the academy is about halfway done.
I guess as long as the Marines are standing behind the barracks, I guess it does make a pretty nice choke point. Kind of like having 2 gateways when you in PvZ. Oh,
kind of lost
Marine.
the Marine for free.
that's well worth it.
For the Zerg, yeah, sure. Alright, layer is about half done for the Zerg now. Terran is not getting any Marine upgrades as of yet. Okay, Stim is just starting now. I'm not sure if Stim or Range is the one you want to go for first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Stim. Stim is the one you go for first.
Okay, and we actually are seeing a Hydra Den out of the Zerg this time. Not opting for the Spire. So we're going to see some earlier lurker play.
Alright, so maybe he's looking to abuse the positioning of these barracks. Because like I said, if lurkers can ever get in range of these barracks, the Marines are going to be spawning into lurker fire, potentially. Which I think is a big weakness.
And we see the Zergs playing a little scared this game too. Throwing down 2 Sunkens right away.
Yeah, he doesn't want to repeat a game 1, which I completely understand.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want what happened in game 1 to happen again. Again, if he just had like a Zergling kind of outside this Terran natural here, far enough away that these Marines aren't going to see and kill it, but so you can see when the Marines move out.
Yeah, or even if he moves the Overlord just a little bit more to the right or left, so he can kind of see when Marines kind of move out along the wall, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would definitely help too, because if your Overlord somewhere over here, you'll have vision of Marines walking along the path.
Yeah,
Sure.
The only thing I would be concerned about with that is if the Terran goes around the Overlord vision, so your Overlord doesn't see the Marines moving out.
Yeah, and
so having a Ling there too would.
Once again, though, Snipe, I think Yogg is putting down some missile turrets in his main that are not that effective. He's putting them in the corner of his base. Mutas aren't really ever going to be there.
So something for Yogg to work on. Think about working on his turret placement. Kind of where the mutas are going to come from or where they attack. Placing them in spots to get the most coverage. So like they cover the most tech buildings or the most area. Like this. Okay, I thought he was building one up there too.
This might be a bit too early to tell, but since the Zerg has skipped their Spire, I'm wondering if they're going to go for a quick drop so that they can drop lurkers on this high ground. I mean, we just talked about it, but none of the players tonight have actually done that. So I'm hoping that's what he does. It'd be interesting to see how Terran handles it.
Also, back to the turret thing. I don't think he can actually use these turrets in his main. I don't know if he's scouted or not, but he should have scouted that there was no Spire. So if you see no Spire, you know Spire or no it is coming. You don't really need the turrets in your main. That's, I mean, here it's 75, 150 minerals that could have been better somewhere else, and he's actually making another turret in his main,
What?
kind of near the wall, that isn't really covering or doing anything for him.
Yeah,
Kind of like a spotter turret or something.
That's literally, if there were Muta, the Muta would just hit that twice and it'd be dead. So that's a free turret, really, because there's nothing, no other turrets protecting it. Marines will never be there, supporting it. So.
Yeah, and I mean these 3 turrets, that's 225 minerals that didn't need to be spent on turrets.
And unfortunately, it seems like Yogg hasn't been too successful in actively scouting for the Zerg's third base.
Oh, we got stop lurkers.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
Nice. Sets the trap off. Very nice.
No!
Wow, he just killed that
Every
every Marine for free. Oh, that's painful. And that's one of the scary things too, is Terran being out on the map.
Holy crap!
If you went mutas, they should have hit by now. And not seeing the mutas, you gotta think, okay, even if you didn't scout.
Yo, Snipe?
I accidentally unplugged my mic, sorry.
Oh, there we go. I was worried for a second. But...
yeah, even if you didn't scout that it was saying that it
Oh my god.
didn't scout that it was lurkers over Spire, the fact that the mutas, you haven't seen any sign of the mutas, should kind of tip you off that, okay, something else is going on. And having your Marines and medics out on the map without vessels when there's lurkers out there is just a dangerous thing.
Yeah, for sure.
As we saw right there, right? So
I mean, to be fair, as I would never expect someone to do that. Even though it's one of those things where it's like, oh, only high level players do that. But Cyan pulled it off really, really well, and you gotta give him props for it. That's one of the best stop lurkers I've seen in a while, especially for at the CPL level. I was very successful.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a few other stop lurkers in some of our other games. I don't know if you were there to cast, but Chess Z and Zookeeper saw a couple of those stop lurkers from A at Surrey as well.
Very nice.
In their cast, so check them out if you haven't seen those yet. Good games.
Yeah, and overall a much closer game this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't have any weird, funky 9-minute base trades.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we're gonna see a little bit more macro-based play, I think. Oh, but he's kind of losing these lurkers. Got it back. Okay.
So consume is about 75% done. I don't think it'll be in time to help defend this base, unfortunately.
He does have a Nidus up, so he is gonna be able to reinforce. I think he should be able to hold. Oh,
that's so
barely
crucial.
hit the tank. The 3 health tank.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Oh, he might actually be able to reach that tank. No, okay. That's pretty unfortunate.
Oh no, to the tank. Oh,
nice. He got the tank. Okay, that hurts.
If that tank
is sending a few more lings through. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh man.
Oh, there is a Defiler out now as well. There are a couple Defilers. He's sending one through the Nidus. And it has consumed, so he should be able to get Dark Swarm. And he should be able to save himself now, save the space. Oh, he did irradiate the Defiler though. Nice. Get the Swarm off. Okay, there.
Very nice.
And then it goes down. So he's going to be able to hold this base for now. And be completely fine.
Yeah, we also have a third base coming up for the Terran player. It's a little... I think it's placed a bit too far left, maybe?
Maybe 1 hex?
Yeah, something like that. But either way, it is a bit exposed. So if the Zerg is ever able to kind of break out of this pressure, he might be able to do a lot of damage if he can send a control group or so of Zerglings across the map.
It might be in the right spot, I don't know. Can't decide. We need Dark to decide if it's a Dark CC or not.
Oh yeah. He's the resident master of misplacing his command center, so.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh! Can he get one of those vessels? Oh, nice,
Loses
nice
every
reaction.
single Scourge. Yikes.
Told the vessels over the Marines, lost them all. Unfortunate for Zerg, but nice reaction by Terran. Oh, and he's irradiating another Defiler.
Was not paying attention to the...
Oh, he needed to get that swarm off.
Oh man, so it looks like both of the Defilers defending this base might just die before even casting a single Dark Swarm.
Oh,
Yeah, that might cost him this game.
Yeah, like, it could definitely cost him this base. He does have another couple Defilers coming through. I need to see a swarm. I need to see a swarm here.
Okay, so it looks like there's enough units to defend, but it was pretty scary for a second.
Hang on. Yeah, I mean, if that Nidus went down, it would have been in a lot of trouble. Especially before the Defilers or any reinforcements got through, it would have been. Yeah. But, I mean, he cleans it up. He's sending these Scourge now to go kill these vessels. He gets one of them. If they're cloned properly, he should get them all. They're not, but... one Scourge, one vessel. Is he gonna get it? Oh.
Nice. Yeah, so pretty good awareness from Yogg. He was paying attention. He was able to save at least one vessel.
Nice job from Cyan as well to pick off those vessels. You don't want, like, Terran to get a huge cloud of vessels. Like, the more vessels Terran's allowed to have, the scarier it gets for Zerg. They can just literally start irradiating everything. All the Defilers, all the Lurkers. It looks like Yogg's actually trying to set up some kind of contain or something out here. He's got, like, a tank siege
What is he
up and he
containing?
just built a turret. I'm not sure.
It's like a random outpost. Interesting.
Setting up the pressure this soon to be Zerg 4th base.
Yeah, I actually do like what he's doing, because he's, by putting this kind of pressure on the Zerg, he's making it that much harder for the Zerg to kind of counterattack and take and attack Terran bases, right? Because he's so busy defending.
He does get a couple of decent swarms up. He doesn't really have a lot of units to help here.
Because Hydras technically don't do damage on the swarm. Oh man.
We see Terran making the right moves. I was backing up away from the swarm. Don't want to ever fight Zerg under the swarm there.
Yeah, and something worth noting, now that the players are starting to kind of micro these intense skirmishes, money and spending have definitely reared their ugly heads as being an issue. Yeah, so we have 1,600 minerals and gas for Yogg and 2,200 minerals for the Zerg.
Yeah, it looks like Zerg has 3 on gas, so... I mean, it is pretty gas heavy for Zerg.
And I think 1, 2, 3, 4.
But he could be spending those minerals better, like a couple more hatches and a bunch of Zerglings. If those minerals were a couple more hatches and a bunch of Zerglings, he could be in a lot better position. But as it is now, we see the Terrans taking another base, mineral only here. Nothing really to defend it, so if Zerg was aware of this, he could easily deny it. Something we noticed, okay, he's building factories out here kind of in the middle of the map there. Not like between his natural and his 3rd. Interesting place for them. Okay.
Wow. I don't know, man. Yeah,
he's just kind of building everything wherever.
Oh, these lurkers!
Oh, didn't get a swarm off. He just lost them.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Just these like key moments where he's not paying attention and it's actually costing him a big deal.
Oh, he just loses all those Zerglings for free, trying to defend this base, and he's gonna go down. He does have an Ultralisk out. One Ultralisk isn't gonna be enough to deal with this. Okay, another one coming. What he really needs is a Defiler with this to swarm.
Well, a bunch of Ultralisks do pop.
And he's got some more links streaming in from the Nidus, so he should be able to clean up a lot of this now.
I'm actually really liking this tank positioning. It's kind of OP. Like they've been shutting out so much damage.
Even with these turrets here kind of blocking a little bit too.
That is awesome.
So, I mean, Zerg did clear this up, clear out this attack. No more pressure here.
Yeah, and he loses his
was able to
base.
get another base for himself.
Yeah.
I would like to see Zerg counter that base. He's not aware of it yet, but if he sent all those Lings and Ultras there, he deny that mineral only base and take his fourth again himself. We have a large number of tanks and marines coming across, and some medics trailing behind.
Yeah, there's
So,
a
pretty scary
big
looking.
Terran army, but a lot of forces actually just waiting at the nat of Scion. So I don't know. Maybe if he goes for a counter or if he goes to defend his third base right now, he'll be on time. But he needs to kind of do something with his army and not have it just sit at his nat.
Yeah, he needs it to kind of defend here.
Yeah,
And
or
I
go
don't
for some
see any
type of counter.
defilers.
Oh man.
I don't see any defilers out at the moment either, and he needs some swarms. Oh, and he's sieging up outside this little choke.
Oh man.
He's gonna bait the Zerg into this. Painful.
Yeah,
that's
if there's
exactly
no
what we see
swarm,
too.
this is gonna be so difficult to hold.
Yeah, one good swarm over these tanks and marines, and he could have just sent all those units in and just destroyed this army. But as it is, without that swarm, I mean, he was able to just destroy the Zerg's army, and now he can push in.
Yeah. This is looking really, really tough for the Zerg player.
Yeah, it's been a constant fight kind of at the bottom here for the Zerg's third.
Overall, I think he played really well. He did a good job of trying to keep the vessel count low, and swarming to keep the Terran at bay. But ultimately, it was too much.
Zerg's gonna hold this. He should have just sent those drones through the Nidus instead.
Oh,
But it looks like we have a big drop coming in at the Terran main here.
so. This is the do or die drop.
This is a nice little counter drop coming. A radiate on one of those
Nice.
birds. Very nice. Okay. Needs to drop like all those units out though. I mean, if he can take out all the supply here, take out a lot of the Terran tech, that'd be good.
Yeah, it's just the thing is, Terran has a bunch of factories that they built outside of their main.
Maybe this is Yogg was ahead of it. He knew it was coming. Pre-made his factories out here because of that.
Yeah, I guess Yogg just outmeted us, dude. He knew.
Yeah. Outmeted the Protoss players.
Yeah.
I mean, he's losing all like his supply depots here. He's supply blocked and he's still losing more. He's losing it. He lost the science facility. He's about to lose the starport with 2 vessels queued up in it.
Well, once Terran holds this attack, I mean that's it for the Zerg. The Zerg is losing their third gas. They're mining out of their net and they're mining out of their main. So there's really not much follow up after this. I don't think.
Pretty scrappy game at this point, but Zerg actually does hold on to that third base just barely. Terran's trying to expand to that natural at the same time.
Yeah, what are you
What is
doing?
going on? What's going on? I mean, he does need another base.
Oh man.
Another gas base, I guess, is what he's thinking. He does have a ton of minerals and gas banked up, though. So he could throw down a bunch of factories, but the same thing for Scion. Like, he could throw down a bunch of hatcheries with all those minerals and start producing a bunch of Zerglings. He could take out Yogg's mineral only. And honestly, he doesn't have a lot defending his third base either. He doesn't look like he has a lot of army anywhere.
And there's a good number of science vessels, so if they do an eraser trick at this third, I mean, say goodbye to all your drones.
Is he gonna irradiate that drone? About to make the hatchery.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
So he does put down another hatchery. I'd like to see him take that gas because he's got a ton of minerals. He does Zerg, but he needs that gas too. This is like become a real scrappy game. There's like units everywhere.
Yeah, there's still 2 Zerglings in the main. Oh my god.
Terran just now is on supply. Oh, and we see a couple of lurkers dropped up on the cliff like we were talking about before.
Very nice.
Killing off one of these barracks. He'll be
mean,
able to kill off the gas.
At this point, he's better off dropping the newer bases. Like, this isn't doing anything.
I mean, he's gonna kill the gas and deny Terran from getting gas, but he has so much banked up anyway. And we got another drop coming in. A few more overloads flying in with some more Zerglings. He's gonna drop them in here now.
This is actually an insane game. I'm not sure who's... I mean, at the end of the day, Terran's economy is stronger, and they have the better defensive position. But you never know. This is actually a little too close for comfort for either player.
Yeah, this could even get into a position where it kind of stabilizes as gets these 2 bases back up and running.
Oh no, oh no, no!
Oh! That was a bit unfortunate.
He funneled all of his units through that little choke.
Yeah, that definitely hurts. He's okay. His NAD is just mining out now, so he needs to get these. He needs to take those gases.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, really strong defensive position by the Terran. I don't think Zerg's they're gonna be able to penetrate. Oh, no.
And now we see Terran throwing down a bunch of mines, so like it's gonna be hard for Zerg to run any set of the base without losing a bunch.
Honestly,
Couple
my
of vultures
theory.
killing all the drones. Oh,
This is really bad, yeah. But I'm starting to think, Snipe, that this is Yogg's like comfort zone. You know, being able to build his buildings in random places. That's where he shows his true strength.
yeah, we have seen some interesting placement from him.
I mean, because look, there's barracks, there's depots at the 4th. I mean, 10,
Well, I mean,
20
he did have
depots.
to rebuild all those depots, but yeah.
He's building a maze, dude, in the middle of the map. This is crazy.
Wait for make the Zerglings, and I'll just take a while to get through to his base.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
For sure.
Or he puts like a tank in the middle and he walls it off with depots.
I mean, they both have huge banks. Look at Yogg's bank. He's almost up to 10k minerals, 2.5k gas, and Zerg still hasn't taken either of these gases, which is a pretty big thing. And we can see that, like, he's starved. He's completely out of gas at the moment.
Yeah. So 2-3 minutes ago, it was looking kind of like up in the air, but the dust has settled and it kind of seems like Terran is just up.
I mean, Terran is about to mine out of third base. He still has a bit of gas there. And then he's just going to be left with that mineral only.
And his CC at the net is burning. So I wonder if the game will last long enough to see it just explode.
Yep.
Or maybe he'll notice.
But, I mean, Zerg's about to lose this base, and I don't know if Zerg has enough to defend. Like, it's kind of contingent here. If Zerg can hold on to this bottom position and onto these two bases, they could definitely come back into this game. But
oh, wow. Yeah.
if not, then Terran, I think, is going to just be able to win. There's another big drop, it looks like, coming in as well from the Zerg.
It might be GG here.
Multi-pronged attack. I don't know about attacking into all of these tanks with that handful of units. Tanks in a defensive position like this are pretty strong. Maybe if he dropped on the tanks at the same time as the attack. But and he's losing all these overlords without dropping out the units.
No!
Okay, he did get them on top of the tanks, that was good. But he needed, like, the units he sent to come in at the same time that was going on. If that attack was more coordinated, then maybe he could break through into this position. But doing it one at a time just kind of hurt him.
Yeah, for
more than
sure.
helped him.
For sure. Because then he's just losing units piecemeal, kind of.
Yeah.
I think he was much better off like using that drop and cleaning up the army that was pressuring his third base, right? Because then he kills the units that are pressuring the third base. He takes 12 o'clock, and Terran's kind of stuck in a position where they might be too scared to move out, and that might be how Zerg gets back into the game.
Yeah, and Terran did mine out, but he's got such a huge bank, like out of his third there, that he can just keep producing. Like, he's still only on those 3 factories. I would have liked to see him, up to like 6 or 7 factories or something if he's gonna go mech, right?
Yeah.
'Cause he can't spend all that money out of just 3 factories. So something for Yogg. I think we actually mentioned this in the last cast too. Is more production facilities, especially when your money starts getting high like this. Just throw down some more factories, throw down some more barracks, throw down whatever, so you can make more units with that money.
Exactly. Because I mean, having money in the bank is completely useless if you get into a position where you can't build any more units, right? And
Yeah,
that's
like
the most frustrating thing.
Imagine if all that money was units, you would just simply walk over the Zerg right here, right now, right? Whereas Zerg has no money left, so he couldn't do anything about it. If that 7,000 minerals and 3,000 gas was units, you would have already won the game, right?
Yeah. So not only is Terran still mining, they have an 8K bank. So this is gonna be pretty much impossible for the Zerg to be able to come back from.
Yeah, Zerg is trying to take that
Oh, come on, no!
natural third base there.
He was so close to erasing every single drone.
Oh, I missed it.
No, he didn't do it. He pulled his vessels back.
Oh, okay. That would have been a lot of drone deaths. I mean, Zerg isn't mining that gas still at his third, even though he built the extractor. Send 3 drones to mine that gas. You need gas, the Zerg. But I mean, he's just so far behind at this point. Like even in the supplies, you can see he's 100 supply down now. The Terran is taking another gas base here.
Yeah, at 6 o'clock. So at any point, if the mining gets shut down at 12 o'clock, which honestly y'all can do it anytime. Once that happens, there's no other lifeline for Cyan. He's out of the game. He played really well though. I think.
Better than game one.
Yeah, his tactics are pretty good, but strategically maybe he could have been better off trying to secure more bases quicker. Go for drops in different locations because he kept dropping where Terran was strongest. You know, like if he had done lurker drops or little ultra drops, ling drops at the fringe bases, he definitely could have been a lot more successful, I think.
Yeah, but definitely well played from both players. I mean, I would say they're fairly even.
Yeah, I
this
thought this was a
macro
good game for sure.
Had a bit of advantage maybe, but overall, like, well played by both players. Kind of a scrappy game. They handled it to the best of their ability, I suppose.
Oh, and vultures are coming here and just harassing the crap out of his base.
Oh,
That might be it. That might be it. Oh no, there's so many Zeglings still.
he's gonna clean up those vultures, but as soon as Yogg decides to like move out with his army.
Okay, so the vessels are coming up. Eraser. Eraser. Do it. Please.
You see that race?
Yes, he
Here
is.
it comes.
Oh, yes.
Called
Dude,
it. Oh, this is gonna be painful.
50 kills are here. He's going to go to like 20 supply. Oh my god, this is so sad.
Oh, the barrow.
Wait, this bro.
Yeah, it didn't do any damage.
What? Too meta for me.
Very nice plays. Nice plays from our B teamers here. No, he's got a queen here too.
Aye,
Oh,
aye,
he just
aye.
left the game. No, GG, he just left the game there.
Did he leave?
Yeah, just said. Or is that? Never mind. It could be because he's on my friends list.
Oh man, come on, Snipe.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Never mind.
game is still going, man. The
Yeah,
ship
yeah,
is on.
he's still moving. Yeah, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, but
Okay.
now that the vessels are gone, he's still not
The
mining.
drones are still buried. Yeah,
Bro,
he's got to
stop.
upgrade them and start mining again.
Ah, crap. I mean, so, you know, the eraser might as well have killed all the drones. Because he's still not mining. Oh, man.
He's sending these links to try and deny this, but.
Wait, what is he going for? Is he trying to, like, infest a CC? Is that his, like, end game? Like, I'm going to stay and infest a CC.
Could be.
Oh, man. That'd be so funny.
Oh man. All those links just dying to mine. And another one, and they go down.
Yeah, Cyan, not much, not much winning chances left for him. this game.
Unburrow those drones.
Oh, what? Still?
They're still burrowed.
How does he not realize? Like, he's been at 200 minerals for the past 2 minutes.
But now they got the Marines coming in.
I mean, you know, even if
You
the
must
base
have
was
been too
mining,
focused on the tag. And there's the GG, okay.
well played
GG.
by both our players. Man,
I think that was our longest game of the night too.
entertaining
Decent
game
one
for
to-
sure.
Yeah, decent one to end off on, for sure.
Yeah, so I guess with that, once again, all 4 matches casted from our B team list this week have been 2-0s.